bet that warning bells had gone off in Gwen's head. From that point on, her relationship with Mac was on borrowed time, and she knew it. He had become more distant than ever. He forgot to call her, didn't return her calls, and was just generally unavailable, physically and emotionally. So one evening she had gone to his house to talk and just to spend some time with him, and he'd taken off almost immediately after receiving a call concerning Ava. Gwen had decided to wait it out and see if he came back home. When he finally did, hours later, they had ended it. There was no fight, no ugly words or insults. It was very civilized. Gwen might not be happy with Mac for dating her while he was hung up on Ava, but he had been honest with her in the end, and she knew that it had really upset him to hurt her. Her self-esteem had been limping along since that evening, until Mia had dropped her bombshell this morning. Mia had heard from her friend Susie that Mac and Ava had gotten married over the weekend in Las Vegas. Gwen definitely hadn't been expecting that blow. She had figured she would be tortured for a while, seeing them as a couple around the office. She had never expected Mac to break up with her and then almost immediately tie the knot. God, was she now the woman men dated right before they found the one? She had been so lost in thought that she almost jumped from her seat when Mia's hand landed on her arm, shaking it excitedly. "I know, let's have a girls' night tonight. Seth's leaving this afternoon on business for a few days, so I'd love to go out. How about you, Crystal?" Gwen was secretly hoping that the other woman would veto the whole thing because she wasn't really in the mood to socialize. She just wanted to go home, eat herself into oblivion, and watch some man-hating movies on Lifetime. Of course, she'd probably run right into Dominic at the apartment complex where they both lived. Geez, she needed to move now. Wasn't it just her luck to live doors away from Mac's friend? Dominic was already so annoying. Okay, hot, completely smoking hot, but still annoying. It was no one's business if she peeked through her blinds every time she heard his boots in the hallway. Yes, dear Lord, she had to admit to herself that she could distinguish the sound of his tread from the rest of her neighbors. He just looked so good in his cargo pants and those tight shirts. In some evenings, she was even lucky enough to catch him in all of his masculine glory after returning from a run, shirtless and wearing those low-hanging shorts he favored. She loved the sight of his hard body with those rippling muscles, glistening sweat, the tattoos, the... Gwen looked around to see both Mia and Crystal staring at her. Crystal smirked. "Honey, where was your head at? You just moaned and your eyes went crossed. And you have some drool on your chin," Mia pointed out helpfully. Gwen felt her face flush as she quickly ran a hand across her mouth. Darn it, there was drool there. Freaking Dominic Brady. I was just thinking about dinner." "Yeah, sure." Crystal grinned. "Whatever you say. So anyway, how about drinks at Hawk's tonight?" Mia rubbed her hands together. "Oh, going the sports bar route. I like it. Seth would hate it, so it sounds perfect to me." Gwen found herself agreeing. Surely an evening out with her friends was better than sulking at home. After all, her ass was big enough, and adding another pint of ice cream to it wasn't going to help things any. Tonight she would have fun and forget all about Mac. And Dominic. How hard could that be? Dominic Brady sprawled back on his sofa with a big sigh of contentment. Jet lag was a real kick in the ass. Maybe he was just getting old, but flying to Vegas and back in less than 48 hours was not something he cared to do often. When he was in the Marines, he and his friends had lived for quick trips like that. They'd get a few days off and make the most of it. Sin City was a frequent destination back then. Now, just being home in his apartment in Myrtle Beach was much closer to heaven than the bright lights and the scantily clad women on the Strip. Yeah, hell, only 33 and he officially sounded old. The trip this weekend had been for a good cause, though. One of his best friends had gotten married to the